charge you 15% to use the $100. Now, it sounds like 1980s, but the math is still real. Whose money are they going to lend me first?
Other your own.
You're going to lend me your back as money.
And make 2% and double, more than double.
You ready? It looks like 9%, right? They're going to make the spread 9%. But we've got to think about how much money they have invested in the deal. So how much do they have in it total when they cash out at the end of the year?
No.
Except
That is not.
they had to pay her interest.
Oh.
Okay, so if she kept her $100 there for a year, they're going to pay Becky $6. They got $6 in this deal. Okay?
Right.
I'm going to pay them back $15. So they've got a $9 profit on a $6 investment, 150%. You're close to the double, right? 150%. Now, there's a whole story of how we got to where we are today. What are they paying? 0.5% interest? And I could probably go borrow it at 4.5. So now they're making $4 on a 50-cent investment. Calculator, 800% return. Okay? I think you could do well in your real estate investing business making 800%. Exactly. Here's why they don't use their own money. If they gave me their $100, I'm still going to pay them $15 at the end of the year, right? But they've got $100 invested now and made a $15 profit, 15%. Okay? Can we do the same thing? Absolutely. So here's the meat on the bones. The process, we've got the insurance company. We put our money into the insurance company in the contract, and they provide a certain death benefit protection. Very simple. That's the contract. And that's where most of the time we stop thinking about life insurance. I pay them money, they give me death benefit protection. But with the whole life, Becky talked about the two internal growth components. The contract states they're going to pay 4% growth on the cash value. And then at the end of the year, when they've paid all the death benefits for those who died, the electric bill, administrative costs, you name it, what's left over comes back in the form of a dividend to you and I as policyholders. So now there's two internal growth components, guaranteed interest and a dividend. And we don't get a 1099 on that money every year, on that growth. We don't get taxes. That's great. That's great. Now let's take it another step further. The no loss provision. When I did the penny calendar, and when I talk about leveraging, a lot of times, investors will step back a little bit and go, well, leveraging usually imposes risk. Okay? What's the biggest risk in a leverage situation? Would be the loss of value in the asset. That's what happened in the housing market. Right? We had ourselves over leveraged as a country. Housing market prices dropped, and now we're stuck. So we can rest in this leveraging situation, though, because the value will never decrease. So I can leverage that thing to the top and never worry about my leverage position being overextended. Okay? Very, very nice. So along comes the deal of the century. I need to prepare costs to go do a flip. I call the insurance company. I say I need to borrow money. And they say, well, how much do you need? I need $30,000. You can look back to see that you have the $30,000 in your cash value. And if you do, they simply say, where would you like us to send the check? Notice they didn't say, well, fill out the credit report, fill out the application, and fill out the paper and the paper and the paper. No. How much do you need? Do you have it? Where would you like us to send the check?
What is that rate usually when you're on it?
Okay, right now, variable is 5%, fixed is 6%.
Fixed for the life of the contract.
Fixed
For the rest of your life, it's
forever.
6.
And variable is annual fluctuation based on Moody's corporate bond rate. Okay, so if you wanted something to target, kind of follow that.
But now when you're saying variable, you're talking about whole life return over variable life?
No, we're
No,
talking
no.
about variable loan interest rate.
Okay, on the backside, okay.
On the backside, yes.
So are you still urging the compounding on the 30,000 that you have in there?
So here's the wealth creation. Yes. If that tank's full of $100,000, for example, and I borrowed 30, I'm still getting the compounding of the dividend and the 4% on the entire amount, 100,000, even though I've leveraged 30,000 or 40,000 or 50,000 or 100,000. Still continue to earn interest on that money. Now let's step back and watch this side. I do private lending. We use our policies for private lending, okay? Because we travel a lot. I love real estate because the houses and buildings, but I don't need to be tending the brick and mortar while I'm flying around the country all the time. So paper's nice. I can borrow money from Santa Barbara. Okay, it's nice. So we do private lending. Now, do you think I can borrow the insurance company's money at 6% and go make 15 and put it back? Yeah. All day long. Okay. Right, hard money. That starts to look an awful lot like how banks make money. True. Pay someone 6% to earn 15. Okay. Repeat, rinse and repeat. Right? How much money do I have in that deal? 6%. So if it's $100,000, I've got 6% of $100,000. I don't have $100,000 in the deal. They have $100,000 in the deal. And I'm paying them 6% to use their money. Okay. It's a non-structured repayment on the principal. All right. Generally, when you get someone's money, even when I do hard money, there's terms of when that money's due back to me. Not so much here. Okay. It's an interest-only loan with non-structured payment. So it's beautiful for me and you as real estate investors. If you have a rental property, right? Do the renters always pay on time? No. What do? You got to come up with that money if you've got borrowed from the bank or any other institution. You've got to come up with that money out of your pocket because the renter didn't pay. The renter doesn't pay me here. Okay, I got to do what I have to do with the renter. But I can park the money for a little bit and pay it as they catch up to me. Nice, nice, right? Nice. There's our compounding. So you'll see a lot of example of like how the money really works and how we think and treat our money. Becky talked about the debtor, the saver, the wealth creator. Let's go buy something and use our insurance policy. Okay? What are we going to buy? Harley Davidson. I can spend 30 on that.
Okay.
I can spend 30.
Okay, so let's go buy a motorcycle. It's gotta be Harley Davidson. We're gonna look at the 3 ways that we use our money in a real purchase. And if you don't like motorcycles, think of this as a car, okay? We're gonna go buy a $30,000 car. I just bought one for my granddaughter who is at school right now. She came and flew with us, just to kind of have a break with her grandma. But I just bought her a $30,000 Mini Cooper convertible. She's in heaven, okay? So, Harley Davidson. We're going to look at paying cash for it. We're going to look at financing it. And then we're going to look at how using a life insurance policy. We're going to look at the results. We're going to do it over a 5-year, 60-month period of time. Okay. All right. So here, let's pay cash for the Harley Davidson. Now, we're going to take the money out of someplace, don't mind, 2.5%. We had to make it look a little better. Didn't be disappointed. So, is the total cost of the car not the car, the Harley Davidson? Is it just $30,000 over a 5-year period of time? No. No. It's the lost opportunity cost also, because you could have earned 2.5% on that money, right? So over a 5-year period of time, 60 months, the Harley Davidson actually cost Jim $33,990. Okay? And the money's where? Gone. Okay. If we finance with Harley Davidson credit, I don't even know if they have that. Do they?
Yeah,
Okay. If they borrow from Harley Davidson credit, well, they got to pay 6% to borrow whose money? Other people's money, right? Do we get to control or negotiate that rate? No, because we need the money, right? This is a financing deal. So over 60 months, Jim's gonna have to pay $577.10 a month. And what happens if he doesn't make the payment?
Gonna get repoed.
Yeah, boy. Okay. So Jim has no control in this, right? None. Yeah, well, just drive it sober, honey. So, over that same 60-month period of time, the Harley Davidson cost him $34,626. Now, if that was all you knew, you would always want to pay cash, right? Always. And that's what we've been taught, right? Okay, well, let's go look at a wealth creator. So a wealth creator, we're going to take the loan from the insurance company, but what is happening to our money?
Still working.
It's still working, it's still compounding, right? 4% plus the dividends, okay? Now, if we wanted to be fair across the board, we would pay back to the insurance company for money they loaned us, $577.10 a month at 6%. Just like we would have had to have paid Harley Davidson credit, okay? And if we did that, he had to come out of his pocket $34,626. What are you saying about Becky? So I should go to cash, right? Because it cost Jim out of his pocket $34,626 if he borrowed the money from the insurance company. It cost him $34,626 out of his pocket, right? If he financed it with Harley Motor Credit. And it cost him $33,990 if he paid cash. That's $700 difference. But like Paul Harvey used to say, let's listen to the rest of the story, okay? If we compare all three of these options, this is the life insurance, okay? But what's happening on the side with the life insurance? The money is still there, right? And it's earning, and we just said 5% in here. So at the end of 5 years, he has $38,501 to use again.
Put some chrome on
Yeah, put some money on it. There you go. Do that little side thing and I'll ride with you. So let's compare. Honest comparison, okay? Cash, it's gone, right? It's gone and it's not working for you. It cost you $33,990. That's net worth out of your estate. You financed it. You didn't have the money. You lost all control over everything, right? And it cost you $34,626. Cost out of your pocket. With our strategy, it cost you the same, $34,626. It came out of your pocket because you paid the insurance company back. But you still have that $30,000 that was still compounding, and now that $30,000 compounded to $38,501. What do you want to be? You see why I have 51 policies?
Probably just not ride a motorcycle again.
Well, I agree with that. I totally agree with
What are you
that.
talking about not?
As my youngest son told me one day, I said, Mom, I just laid down my motorcycle and half of my skin on it. Yes, I totally agree with that.
That's how I drive for property, I can cruise around.
I have a Harley, if you want to buy it.
We can go ride them.
Yes, sir.
Just kind of for the sake of fairness, in the finance option, if you had the $30,000 in savings to begin with, which is kind of a given for all scenarios, wouldn't that still make a pittance but some interest in the savings under the finance category in the middle still?
If you had the money and decided to finance, yes,
Okay.
absolutely. But the only reason you would finance is if you didn't have the money because it cost you more.
Well, just looking at opportunity costs with the cash actually cost me the $33,990 because it's not any interest.
Right.
Yeah, but it's earning 2.5. Are you going to go pay 6% and earn 2.5?
Yeah.
Watch this. So, if you know what this is doing because of the contract,
Yeah.
Right.
okay? When What do we know about interest rates throughout history? It's all over the place, right?
Very true.
If I'm gonna have to pay the insurance company 6% to use their money, but I can go get 3.5% from the bank, or better yet, if you watch TV long enough, you'll see Ford Motor Credit will give you 0% financing on a truck for 60 months. Guess where I'm gonna go get the money?
Where it's cheaper.
I'm going for 0% financing, but guess what? It's still earning.
Still earning. Okay.
Right, so you get, as far as putting you in control, you get to go chase interest rates now, right? We don't always recommend to do this if the interest rates are.
Exactly.
Okay.
2 weeks from now, I hope to have my new S Mercedes convertible. They haven't even come out yet. My car's sitting in Georgia waiting, okay? But USAA Property and Casualty Insurance Company that we belong to, because my dad was military, has a 1.76% cost of money. You think I'm gonna go do this when my money's gonna grow there anyway, if it's 0.76%? And they'll give me 0.25% discount if I do it on a bank draft. Okay?
Okay.
This is not the end all
Yeah.
be all, okay?
Yeah, it's just for getting used to the idea, the fact that it's the whole life, it doesn't matter where you borrow from, it's still earning the 38. I didn't
There
even wrap
you
my
go.
head around.
And
There you go.
And I would submit to you, if you had 30,000 sitting in the bank right now,
It would be a silly
and
place
it's
to
earning
leave it.
0.5%, and inflation is 1.5%, you're losing money. Let's get it in insurance policy
There
instead
you
of
go.
taking advantage of the.
It's an appreciating asset is what it becomes.
It's an appreciating
Absolutely.
asset, yes.
Absolutely, right.
So Jim, he's gonna show you an example, a real estate example. He's going to do 2 private money loans, okay? And we're gonna look at what it does over time. Because you guys aren't real estate investors for 1 year, right?
Right.
Okay.
Well, some- maybe not.
No.
Okay, so this is really kind of a live example. The loan, we're doing private loans for 40,000.
Can I ask you a question before you
Yes,
start?
ma'am.
So I don't have to sit here and take pictures of this?
Oh,
Can
want
you
it?
send this presentation?
We have to show you, but we will.
Also, this whole presentation is being videoed, it'll be free on YouTube.
Yeah.
The thing is whether or not you can visually see it in the
Yeah.
video, whereas if you have the stills.
This is proprietary.
Yeah, we'll look up here.
And the quality is pretty good.
Okay.
You can go look at some of the past videos.
They say about some snuff films too, but. Carry on.
Okay, so, we just wanted to look at a comparison to how, a lot of folks are investing and are lending and doing real estate from a position of cash. Okay? And that's okay. We just wanted to compare, how would property A cash behave compared to property B using the loan provision in the life insurance over time. Okay? We saw what it'll do for buying a car, and now let's see what it'll do in our business. So we're gonna lend $40,000 out annually, 12-month loan at an interest rate. My cash in the bank is earning 1%. My whole life insurance policy is charging me 5% interest. That's what I'm getting right now at my variable rate. Okay, so a few things to set it up. Initial balance, I had 35,000 laying around, and I put it into it's my working capital. I put it into the insurance policy the first year, and then every year I'm going to put another 15,000 into the insurance policy or the bank, depending on which side we're looking at. So cash for cash is the same cost. Lending assumptions, I'm going to loan out 40,000 a year annually, interest-only loans, and I'm going to earn 14% on the money in the loan. Okay, that's going to generate $466.67 per month in interest, or $5,600 a year. Looking at this for 25 years, I'm going to loan this 40,000 out every year for 25 years, and I'm going to be at 28% tax bracket.
Who am I loaning this to?
Who needs it? Anybody need money in this room?
How do you know it's someplace safe though that you're loaning the money out for and paying for?
Okay, so that's a whole nother
That's
class.
what Daniel teaches you.
Right? But it's hard money, so who I'm loaning my money to, mostly are flippers, repair costs.
So you know you're getting your money back.
Oh, yeah, I'm in first position, lean position on 65% loan to value and due diligence and all that good stuff, so.
We've got one working just like that.
Yeah, I've got one now, it's 14% and 2 points, and I'm in first position.
And you never do seconds.
I don't do seconds.
Smart.
Never.
So, yeah, we're there, I mean, I want my
I've loaned
borrowers.
money and never been paid back, so that just scares me.
Well, you gotta
Well,
secure it
this
with
is just an
something.
example.
Okay, it's something else.
We're
Whole
securing,
other class.
we're securing
Yeah.
by the real estate,
Yeah.
so I'm
Yeah.
getting money back.
65%.
Next slide. So, like I said, it is the next slide, so I don't want anybody to run now.
You don't want me for you.
Becky
Hurry up.
goes nuts when I do this. So, you remember when fourth grade, or fifth grade, or sixth grade, whatever, grade school, math, you know, you can come up with the answer in your head a lot of times, but the teacher wanted to see your work. How did you get to that answer? Okay, so they're not just grading you on the answer, they're grading you on how you got there, right? Math is procedural. So this is my work, and I'm not gonna spend a lot of time on it all, but here are the kind of spreadsheets that we use. Okay, there's a 25-year period, and there are 15,000 going in, and the loans coming out and going back, right? So we do all that, and here's what happens with cash. I put in 50, put in 15 every year, cash flow will be at 5,600, I'm paying taxes at 28%. 25 years later, I've got $556,000.
Do you have that broken out?
Do I have it broken out? Sure.
No. We
Yes,
gotta
I
change
do.
that. We gotta
Okay,
change that.
25 years later, that's what the total pile of money looks like, okay? We're gonna look at the hard money loan using the loan provision from the life insurance policy. Same deposits, the same cash flow, but look, I've got to pay my loan interest to the insurance company. I'm gonna take that out. 25 years later, I'm at $985,000. Compared to 556 with cash, 985 from the whole life loan provision. Everything else is equal. What's different is the compounding and the leveraging. In that great big hairy spreadsheet that I showed you, every time I take the 40,000 out to loan it that year, it stops earning interest. As soon as I take it out, it stops earning interest. I put it back, it earns interest, but I put it on it again. So put it in, take it out, I reset that compounding every time. With the loan provision in the insurance policy, I'm leveraging the whole time. So I've got 5% cranking away for 25 years uninterrupted. Okay? It costs me a little bit to use other people's money. But as we saw with how banks make money illustration, that really pays off pretty good. It's 77% more money in 25 years.
And the only thing you did, Jim, is where you're storing your money.
The only thing I
That
did
was
was
it.
I changed the way I think about and treat my money. Remember the environment that Becky talked about. I created that environment, I let my money live in that environment, and I still did. I still have the same risks in real estate. I still have the same investment. Look at 77% more money. Let's add inflation for 25 years. The 556,000 spends like 339. That's less than his basis that he put in for 25 years. The 985 spends like 600. You beat inflation. Okay? You beat inflation. We did a presentation in Texas, it's old Texas. He said, when faced with the decision to choose between two piles of money, always choose the larger pile. We kind of all chuckled at that. It was like, yeah, what was it? Right? But have any of you ever made a decision to buy real estate or to invest in real estate based on emotion?
Big mistake.
Big mistake, right? So when you see those two piles of money, always choose the larger pile. So my question to you is, when is it the best time to start putting your money to work? You guys know who this guy is, right?
That's
If somebody raised their hand and said George Washington. Out of his years. So, next steps. We want to work with you. If you already have an advisor, or maybe your Uncle Joe does life insurance, that's great. But don't let your Uncle Joe go build one of these. There's a lot of moving parts and pieces in here that we need to watch out for to have them perform as efficiently as they can. We're happy to work with Uncle Joe. But don't let him go out there and do it all by himself. He can mess this up, okay? It's like playing with fire. Becky, she didn't want to brag on herself, but last year, the #1 producer for Massachusetts Mutual in the country.
Nice.
The first woman to do that ever in 168 years. Something we said about measurable history of success and working with the best. Again, we're the hub. We work with others, our clients. We work with their CPAs. We work with their tax advisors. We work with their estate planners. This tool, by the way, is a great estate planning tool, and you get the benefit of the cash value during your living years. We work with a lot of your team. All right, so what we want to do is we want to meet with any one of you individually. If you want to learn more about this, it's a no-pressure way to learn more in a one-on-one setting. Okay, you can go and ask questions today. You can ask questions later. We'll do a case study just like I showed you, based on what you're doing. Doing hard money lending, are you renters, are you name it, okay? We'll do a case study using the same strategy. We want to introduce you to the insurance company. Because of insurance policy, they're going to want to see you, they want to check you out physically, right? Make sure that you qualify for insurance. So we want to introduce you to them. We'll review the offer from the insurance company and you become a loan agreement. It's that easy, right? 5 steps. So we're going to pass out right now. If any of you want to learn more about this, if you want to talk to Becky or me or both of us, fill out the card. Our girls will contact you and schedule an appointment. We do a lot of go-to meetings. Anybody ever done a go-to meeting? They're fantastic. You can be home in your PJs if you want to. Right? Go-to meeting. You're on your computer, I'm online. We're communicating across the country or wherever. Also, you can see our screen and all these illustrations that are going on, but you don't have to get dressed up and come to the office. Awesome. Unless you want to fly to South Florida. So we'll contact you. We'll have you fill out generally a financial profile if you want to go farther so we can learn more about you and your case and what you're doing. And if you want Becky's book, we've got copies of that back at the table. So if you're interested, Becky's going to pass the cards out, hand those back into us. We'd love to, there's some time for that available. We'd love to meet with all of you individually. Any questions?
So this, you're calling it a whole life?
It's a whole life
It's
insurance
part fixed,
policy.
it's part variable based on the requirements?
No, it's all fixed or variable loan interest rate. You get to choose.
Well, I thought you got like 4% fixed.
Dividend is.
Does this have their information? That's really what's not.
Yeah, it does, right, that's sorry, right here.
This is not.
You've got me way ahead. You're way ahead of me. Oh, you need
I'm incredibly busy with insurance. I have clients in all 50 states. I'm in Europe, I'm in Singapore, I've got clients everywhere, okay? So Jim and I worked this to where we would have appointment schedules for you guys so that you wouldn't have to wait 4 weeks to get on my schedule, okay? So if I were you, if you just want to sit and talk, that's great, but I would surely take one of these. Because after today, I'm going to stick them back on my calendar so that my staff doesn't go nuts. Yeah, so, I'm not bragging on this, I'm just telling you, it would be really helpful if you go ahead and take time now, okay, so that we wouldn't have to wait 4 weeks, 6 weeks to go on schedule, okay? Thank you, guys. That's for every day.
Right, thank you. Did you ever think you could do this with insurance? Sure makes me wanna jump in there and do something. So we're gonna take a little break for about 15 minutes. We're gonna come back with Meryl Chandler on credit sense and how to increase your credit scores and how that all works. So, very important stuff. Thank you very much, Rebecca. You two are wonderful, and I can't wait to see different people take that opportunity. Thank you.